And now, which couldn't come in better timing, I got a package in the mail. Well, let's just turn this around. Very nice, very nice. It is from Catalyst Machine Works. From me, or for me, from Neil Whiteley. Thank you, Neil Whiteley and Smokin Drones, for providing me with this gift, or contest prize. Birds of Fire contest. Very nice, very nice. Well, time to open it up. Make sure everything got through the mail. Now that drones are popular, mailmen are going to start stealing our frames. Da, 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 da. So, oh, we got a sticker, or one of those window prints. Ah, look at that. Very nice. Once an addict, always an addict, but we have a little problem. I guess it got smushed in the mail there. Kind of ripped a hole, but it's not all the way through. We're saved. Very nice, very nice. Alright, Neil Whiteley, if you guys are ever looking for a Stigg 195, that's their card. Very nice. And now, nothing else in that box. Everything seems to be right here. No instructions, but Catalyst Machine Works provides full build instructions online in a PDF, so that's the beautiful thing. So, seems to be camera mounts and center plates, battery strap, decent construction, still has the rubbery stuff on there. We'll see how long that lasts. Seems to be part of the center plate. Let's check out the motor mounts. A couple different components in the bag, but these are actually aluminum motor mounts. I suppose the frame goes right in there. Frame arm on a vertical plane instead of a horizontal plane, which everybody's talking about. Stiggs are better because there's less drag caused over the arms and less of a void, which is beautiful. I love that. So we got the frame, or we got the motor mounts. Okay, there's a couple other components in there, like this little doohickey. It does seem like a lot of hardware for one frame, but maybe all this hardware equals a bit of integrity. Very nice, very nice. Here's where the clincher got for me, now that I've opened it up. Alrighty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of these side rails, it seems to be. Put those off to the side here. And we have 2 of these plates, which seem to basically fit together, so those are equals. And then we have 2 of these plates, and line them up. They do not fit. Oh wait, they fit like that, but they're alternating, so that makes me think one is a left and one is a right. I did look online to kind of try and figure out how to put this together before I started. And now I'm going to do a frame assembly of the Catalyst Machine Works Stigg 195, which I won from Smokin Drones, Birds of Fire contest. Check out Smokin Drones. They have some pretty awesome contests, and not too many people know about them yet, but I think they're awesome. So first what we'll do is we'll put together the central hub. It's pretty much what's going to protect all your electronics. So to put the central assembly together, first you need these little brackets. Now the brackets, which my camera sucks, but it's a good idea to try and get a little closer. You can see they have a little lip on the bottom here. Me saying the bottom means they're actually the bottom. They don't have that little lip in the top. So these are all gonna angle downwards. Little washer there. It's probably for the build, but I haven't figured that part out yet. And you'll need the brackets, and you will need the blue 2.5 mil socket head anodized aluminum. So what you do is first you start with the brackets. You place your frame arm like so, and you start to build the box with the brackets. I'd like to note, when installing the brackets on the frame arms for the central assembly, you want to put your bolts through hex bolts through the carbon fiber side into the brackets and secure them. The advisory is don't put any Loctite on them. Another note that I'd like to add is the blue anodized screws here, bolts. There's actually 3 different sizes. One is a short pan head. One is a short socket head, like a bulkhead, and one's a longer bulkhead. To put the central frame assembly together, you need the shorter socket heads. After you've secured the brackets, next is put on the next part of the arms. These are the original brackets. This is the way that they are, and the brackets are placed on the inside with this angle going upwards. As for the other piece, this part goes up because that's where your camera is going to be mounted and such. And the way you install this is you place one like this, put one frame arm there, and then you secure this piece inside here. So I'll kind of try and give you a better view. One frame arm will go like this, the other one will go on the other side like so, and then this piece will screw in with this piece up through these mounting holes right beside the X, and like so. Catalyst Machine Works, I think you guys have come up with a little bit of an ingenious way to misalign the holes just slightly as the 2 frame pieces come together. You get the bottom bolt in, and then when you go to line the top one to put it in, you actually have to give the frame a little bit of a push as you're screwing it in, or it won't really go in. So maybe that's a flaw, or maybe that's built that way to actually help with rigidity. Yeah, same thing for this hole down here. Just slightly off, but I think that's actually a good idea, you know what I mean? Because then it's not really slack, and the frame won't shift around when you smack into anything, and you have less chances of stripping bolts because it's just enough where you have a little bit of play. You gotta force it. That one didn't go on as tight as the other one, but I'm sure when I put this arm on here, it's going to not align quite right. A quick suggestion would also be to just snugly fit on your bolts at first as you're putting them in. Make sure you get them all in, and then give them that nice snug and a quarter turn, just enough to hold them in very nicely. Because if you don't, you're gonna have to loosen some of these bolts just to get the next one in. It's very precise in the milling, which is good. It's good. I'm starting to like it so far. There's the central hub created. What a weird looking frame, eh? So in the assembly instructions, it suggests that you mount your motors on now. But I don't have any motors to put on this yet, not until I do the full build video and show you what components I decide to use. But there are these small silver stainless steel anodized screws. They're to put your motors on. They're 3M, and you put them on through there, and just make sure that you angle your motor pigtails in towards the inside of the craft. But it suggests don't cut them. I think because you let the actual motor wires go right to the inside, because the idea is to mount your ESCs, I guess, either along the panel here or actually inside the craft on the sidewall. So, with two of the blue anodized longer screws, 3mm, and through the side mounts, which are located here and here, then you mount them onto your frame arms like so. And it just goes right through to the other side, and I believe they say you don't have to Loctite this either, but I will correct it if I find that that is the case. With the motor mounts, you can only put them in one way. Only one side of the motor mount is actually threaded, and the other side is just a hollow shaft to let the bolt pass through, which is cool. But I was thinking maybe alternating the bolts, one on this side, one on this side, because there's only two associated with it, just to distribute weight evenly through the arm. But they basically all mount on the same side, and we're talking about one complete craft, not just one frame arm. At this point, you need to decide which thickness of arm perimeter brace to install. There's two options included in your kit: the 3mm ones and the 4mm ones. Thinner braces are better for all-out racing applications where you need to go as fast as possible. Thicker braces are better for freestyle applications where speed isn't quite as important, and durability and crash toughness become more important. If you join the 3mm braces to the motor mounts using the 6mm long screws, use 8mm screws if you use the 4mm braces. Make sure these screws are torqued down tight. And this instruction right here is directly from the Stigg assembly manual. So don't give any credit to me, give it to Catalyst Machine Works. Personally, I'll be using the 3mm arms because I want to race this puppy at the Drone Olympics and see what the all-out speed that is achievable by this frame. I don't have a really fast speed racer yet, and I think maybe Catalyst has come out with a good idea with the inverted arms causing less drag. It's a good idea. The only thing that's unfortunate is now everybody in the industry is going to start trying to clone it and start putting inverted arms, but it's a good idea, and I'd give them a little bit more credit. I don't know if they came out with the idea themselves, but it's the first frame that I've seen with the arms like that, so go Catalyst Machine Works. Now, since I'm only doing the assembly video, I've gone through some of the instructions, and it's starting to get more in depth into the build. So I just wanted to point out a couple of different things, because my Stigg's basically built. It's missing all of its motors and ESCs and stuff like that, but I just want to point out a couple of details about the Stigg. Your ESCs will be placed right here, and you can put like a couple layers of double-sided foam to hold them right there. When your motor wires go down, you should run them underneath the arm, they say, to create less drag, and then they actually go in to these little holes. I don't know if you can see that there. There's little holes in the frame on each arm. Your ESCs and your motor wires go inside here. Or maybe your motor wires go underneath and your ESCs go through here. I think that might depend on you. They do suggest to sand these edges, obviously, so your wires don't get pinched and get severed. You might not even know until your craft is falling out of the sky. The next part is when you mount your power distribution board and your flight controller, they tell you to put the 8mm standoffs inside, put your power distribution down, however it suits you. But then after you do that, when you screw it all in, you actually take the bottom screws out, you put your receiver in, and you mount it underneath your power distribution, they suggest using like a FR Sky or Free Sky XSR, because it's S-Bus and you only need a couple wires coming from it. But after you mount it in there and the standoffs are in there, I'd suggest putting something like a little 3D printed plate just to stop your XSR from touching your power distribution. And you can still run some wires through there. There's not a real problem, and it's the same mounting holes, like the 30.5 millimeter. When mounting the power distribution board to the bottom, use these standoffs with the little threads on top, and that way you can put your power distribution board on here. Then the next standoffs go on that are through and through, holes and threads on both sides, and then you put your flight controller on that. It comes with some extra long screws to mount everything down with your camera mount and all that, but I don't have the actual camera mount, so I can't show you. Oh, I lost all my screws. But I'll put that back together and give you a little look at it after with the power distribution board and flight controller, and then that's all I can basically show you right now, because there will be a part 2, and that'll be actually installing motors and ESCs and how I went about routing all the wires through. After the power distribution board's installed and you're putting the next standoffs on, maybe that's where it's good to have a little, I think it's a 5mm hex, I'm not totally sure, but whatever the standoff hex size is, might be a little easier to get it in there unless you got some little tiny nimble fingers that can get it on. Little note for the end user: if you use a Naze revision 6 and you have the motor pins on there, you might want to de-pin those because it doesn't happen to fit. They suggest making the USB go towards the front. This is the front here, see? And when I line it up with the holes, it just touches the inside of the frame arm here in the top of the pillar. But if you want a clean build, I would totally suggest, sorry for knocking the camera there, I would totally suggest not having your pins on your Naze 6 or Naze 5 for that matter. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my Stigg frame build. There are still other components, but they are applied when you start mounting your cameras and receivers and your motors and stuff like that. But the basic frame, very easy to put together. Like, you could probably put it in front of a kid and say, these screws go in this part of it and these screws go in that part of it, and the kid would fire this thing up pretty quick. Yeah, problem with the Naze a little bit. If you have pins, it's not really going to go in there like you think it's going to. Get a little bit of a view. I like how the arms are all twisted. Even when you mount your, say you got a Xiaomi Yi or a GoPro or a Session or something, it actually, you think, okay, it's not going to look like it's straight when I'm going to fly. Well, the thing does fly, and the optional mount that you can get for it is crooked too, which might be able to 3D print as well, but we'll just support Catalyst Machine Works and go out and buy it. Now this frame is quite pricey. I may add it is quite pricey, but in my opinion, you pay for quality, you don't pay for quantity. And if this frame is as fast as they're saying it could be, I welcome any other companies that would love to send me some free motors and ESCs to slap on here and get mentioned as well. There's that little plate, just so when you do mount your receiver inside here, it doesn't contact, maybe jittering around if your double-sided tape doesn't work. I'd like to thank Catalyst Machine Works, Smokin Drones, GTA North FPV, and you for watching my video. Like and subscribe if you decide. If you don't, have a good day either way.